One of the most powerful things a business can create isn't a flashy business plan or some brilliant marketing strategy. Nope. It's often a single document, a framework that protects both the company and, more importantly, its people. Today, we're going to dive into how to build an anti-discrimination policy that's not just paper, but a genuine shield that actually works.
To really get why this is so critical, let's start with a scenario. I want you to imagine you're a manager, or maybe you own the business. It's the middle of the night, your phone buzzes, and it is the absolute last message you ever want to see.
Your stomach just drops. This is the nightmare scenario, right? A really serious complaint comes in, and in that one moment, everybody realizes, we have no clear rules. There's no process. What should have been a manageable issue is now a full-blown, spiraling legal crisis.
And the financial stakes? They're sky high. Research shows a single lawsuit can cost a company $250,000, or even more. And that's before you even factor in the damage to your reputation and the loss of trust with your team. It is a massive, massive cost. And the thing is, it's often totally preventable.
So here's the bottom line. HR policies are not just about bureaucracy and red tape. Not at all. They are the very foundation for creating a workplace that is fair, that is consistent, and that is legally sound. They give clarity to everyone, and they are your first line of defense.
Okay, so how do you get from that 3 a.m. panic attack to a place of confidence and real protection? Well, the very first step is to figure out exactly where you are right now. You've got to conduct an audit. So what exactly is an HR audit? Think of it like a health checkup for your company's people practices. You're systematically going through everything, looking for the weak spots before they can blow up into a real crisis. You're asking tough questions like, are our job descriptions maybe accidentally biased? Is our promotion process actually fair and transparent? It's all about finding those hidden risks. And look, this is about so much more than just dodging lawsuits. Though, yeah, that's a huge part of it. It's also about making things better, genuinely improving the workplace for your team. And it's about making sure your people strategy is actually helping the business succeed, not holding it back.
All right, so once you know where your gaps are, it's time to start building. And the really good news is, you are not starting from scratch. There are some fantastic resources out there to guide you.
For example, the Saskatchewan Human Rights Commission, or SHRC, provides an absolutely incredible guide and template. You're looking at a piece of it right now. It is an expert-backed framework that is just a perfect starting point. What's so great about it is the level of detail. It gets into these little things that are so easy to overlook, like how to keep things confidential during an investigation, which is absolutely crucial if you want people to trust the process. We're going to be leaning on their expertise a lot here.
Okay, let's start with the big definitions. Using the SHRC's framework is our guide. First up, discrimination. Basically, harmful treatment based on someone's personal characteristics. Now listen to this next part, because it's the bit that trips up so many companies. It does not have to be intentional. A policy can seem totally neutral, but if it has a discriminatory effect, it's still unlawful. That's huge.
Next on the list is harassment. We're talking about any behavior that demeans or humiliates someone. This can be anything from so-called jokes to outright threats. The end result is what the law calls a poisoned work environment, a place where someone feels unsafe or intimidated.
And finally, there's systemic discrimination. This one is bigger than just one person's actions. It's when policies, or just the way things are done around here, create barriers for certain groups. For instance, think of a company that only fills senior jobs through an informal old boys network. Even if no one means any harm, that system is blocking qualified people from ever getting a shot. A really great policy has to tackle this head on.
So, you've defined all the terms, you've written the policy, but the document itself? That's only half the battle. If someone actually makes a complaint, what happens next? A policy is only as good as the process you have for enforcing it.
This brings us to a really critical fork in the road. When an issue comes up, you've basically got two paths you can take. You can try mediation, or you can launch a formal investigation. They are very, very different, and you have to know when to use each one.
So let's break it down. On one side, you have mediation. Think of it as a guided conversation. It's collaborative, it's totally voluntary, and the goal is to find a solution that both people can agree to. It's usually faster and way more informal. On the other side, you have an investigation. This is a formal fact-finding mission to figure out what actually happened. The key difference? Mediation is looking for agreement. An investigation is looking for the truth.
Now, if an investigation is the way to go, it absolutely must be structured and fair. The SHRC guide lays out this super clear 5-step flow. You kick things off with step 1, talking to the key people. Based on that, you move to step 2. You plan out your whole approach. Then you start collecting statements and information. Step 4 is the really crucial one. You analyze everything impartially. And finally, step 5, you write a formal report with your conclusions. Following these steps make sure the whole thing is thorough and, just as important, defensible.
We're at the final phase now, and honestly, it might be the most important one. You've done the audit, you've written the policy, you've designed the process. But how do you make it real? How do you turn this document into a living, breathing part of your company's culture?
Communication is everything. I mean it. You can't just fire off a company-wide email with a new policy attached and hope for the best. You've got to give people a heads up, use simple language, no jargon, and explain the why behind it. You have to make sure your managers are ready to answer questions. And for goodness sake, make the policy easy for everyone to find, not buried in some folder on a server no one can access.
And this is where tools like this implementation checklist from the SHRC are just invaluable. It's so good because it makes you stop and think through every single step. Have we made it crystal clear that we take this stuff seriously? Have we actually trained our managers? Is there a plan for ongoing awareness? This is what ensures your policy gets put into practice, not just put in a filing cabinet to collect dust.
So that leaves us with one final and really crucial question to think about. After all this, I want you to take a hard look at your own organization. Is your policy a dynamic, living, protective shield that's actively making your workplace fair and respectful? Or is it a dusty, outdated relic sitting on a shelf, just waiting for a 3 a.m. crisis to prove how useless it is? The answer to that question really could make all the difference.